Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while, like at least 1 or 2 months since the last time I made a video, but I'm gonna be more active from now on. I actually have like 4 different deck profiles in mind. The one that I'm showing today, that it's gonna be the branded Dinomorphia. Dinomorphia like pure version, a Libromancer deck profile. Actually I have like 2 ways to play Libromancer, so that might be considered like 2 different deck profiles, and an updated version on the Flunderies deck profile that I made a couple of months ago. So if these are things that sounds like you would be interested in, please remember to subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, share, that's always appreciated. But without further ado, let's get into today's video. We're gonna start with the Dinomorphia. So we're gonna be playing 3 copies of Theresia, 1 copy of D+, 3 copies of, it's like this, yeah, 3 copies of Frenzy, 2 copies of the main, 1 alert, and 1 Sonic. Theresia is basically like our starter, so if we get Theresia in hand, we can normal summon it and activate the effect to set 1 Dinomorphia trap directly from the deck. If we already have Frenzy, we can go into Alert or Sonic. Talking about Alert, this could be a second copy of Sonic, or you can cut it completely and add something else to the deck. It's not really good like if you get it in your first turn, to be honest, but still it is a really good card like for later on in the game, so you can revive your Dinomorphia monsters and have more resources to play and create advantage. So that's why I like to play it. It could very well be like a second copy of Sonic or the third copy of the main. Talking about the main, I only played 2 copies because Frenzy is the much better option, but with the main we can still get to full combo. It's just that we wouldn't be able to leave Kentragina and Rexterm on the field, because with the main we will have to use the Kentragina on the field to get into Rexterm. So that's why I think Frenzy is better, and the 2 domain is more than enough. D+, we honestly have it just as a fusion material, but we don't want to see it. That's why we only play the 1 copy. But that's it for the Dinomorphia part of the deck. Let's move on. Okay, now for the Despia branded Albas part of the deck. Playing 2 copies of Oliver, 1 Tragedy, 1. Now, Aluber is a really good card. I don't play 3 copies because if you get like Aluber and you get Theresia in hand, you're only gonna be able to like normal summon 1 of the 2. So it really depends what you have in hand. But I think that 2 copies is like the best option for this deck, because we also play 1 branded opening. So this branded opening is basically our 3rd copy of Aluber. So if we have Theresia and branded opening, we can get both on the field. But I don't play more copies of this because we have to discard to activate the effect. Plus the discarding for Lubellion, that's 2 cards less on the hand. So I was initially playing 2 copies of this, but I decided to cut it to 1. And it has been working just fine. The 1 Albas is just enough because with Lubellion we can get it back into the deck and use the same copy later, so we avoid bricks. Branded Fusion, I mean, needs no explanation. This card is just really ridiculously good. And Tragedy, so we can usually use Branded Fusion, send in Tragedy and Albas, get into Lubellion, and Lubellion Chainlink 1, Tragedy 2. So we chain block that and we're able to get an Aluber to the hand plus the Mirror J on the field. And branded in red, just 1 copy is enough. There is a 2-card combo with Branded Fusion and Frenzy that later on searches for this card, and it's like basically the best combo the deck can make. I'll be showing you at the end of the deck profile. But yeah, just the 1 copy of branded red is enough. So we can go into Guardian Chimera. But that's it for the branded Albas Despia part, so let's move on. Okay, now for the spells and traps, playing 3 triple tactics, 3 crossout designators, 1 fossil dig, 1 call by the grave, and 2 Sullen Judgment. So triple tactics could be switched for something like Pot of Prosperity if you want to. It's just that I'm side decking Super Polymerization, so I'm playing the Super Poly targets on the extra deck, so I don't have that much room. But if you don't want to play Super Poly at all, you can definitely change this for Pot of Prosperity and just make some adjustment to the extra deck. Cross out Designator because we want our friend 4th copy of Theresia. Only 2 Sullen Judgments. I play the 3rd copy on the side deck because I like this deck to have right now it has a really good balance. You know, for that first match when you don't know if you're gonna go like first or second. So I think it's like really balanced right now, and I really like that. So that's the reason I'm only playing the 2 Judgment in the main deck. But let's move on. Okay, lastly for hand traps, I'm playing 3 copies of Ash, 2 copies of Valor, 2 Deity Crows, and 3 Infinite Impermanence. So these are also our cross out targets. Ash is really good right now with Branded Fusion going around, and if you have a mirror match, you know, against like Branded Fusion or Frenzy or Domain, it's just really good card all around. Same with Valor and Impermanence. These are our like 3 main targets for cross out Designator, but are also really good hand traps. And Deity Crow I think is really good in this format. But yeah, that's it for the hand traps. Now we're gonna move on to the extra deck. Okay, on the extra deck for the Dinomorphia part, we're playing 3 Kentranginas, 2 Rexterm, and 1, I don't even know the name for this one, Stealth Bergia. So this is basically just fodder, so we can fusion summon into Rexterm. But yeah, I think this is the right ratio to play if we're playing the Super Poly targets. If we're gonna be playing like Prosperity, maybe adding a second Rexterm would be better, and I'll also let you know which you can add a couple more for the next part. But most of the times we're gonna go into 2 Kentranginas to get to the 2 Rexterm. We have the 3rd one for backup. We'll almost never get to use the 3rd copy. Most of the times it's just 2, 2, and 1. So let's move on. For the branded Albas part of the deck, I played 2 Mirror Jades. I played 1 Albas Lenatus, the Lubellion, the Albion, and I consider this part of the same package. Prosperity, you might want to add like a second copy of Lubellion as well. And Guardian Chimera is just an amazing card. We use it with like the best combo this deck can make, and it's just another disruption, plus it allows us to draw cards, so it gives us follow-up. So this card is just ridiculously good. And lastly, for the extra deck, I play the 3 targets for the Super Poly. I think they are fairly standard: Mud Dragon, Starving Venom, and Dragostapelia. You don't have to play them if you're not gonna play Super Poly, so you can substitute this for something else and play Prosperity if you want to. But I honestly think it's worth to play Super Poly, at least on the side deck. It's a really good card, especially going second. So my suggestion would be to play it, but as always, it's up to you. And that's it for the extra deck. Now I'll show you the basic side deck that I currently have. I haven't given that much thought into it, but anyways, let's go and check it out. So I have 2 copies of Lancia, right? This is for like mostly Flaunderies. So if they are able to make the combo, at least they don't have like that much of a follow-up, or they cannot play as much in my turn. If I'm going second, so Lancia is good. They might also side deck Lancia against you, so you know we cannot banish cards like with Kentranginas effect, so we cannot go into Rexterm. So this is also a card that you can add to the main deck and use with crossout if you think your opponent is gonna side deck the card. So Lancia, as I've been saying during the whole video, I'm side decking Super Poly, so not much to explain there. Amazing card. And I'm also side decking one copy of Change of Heart. This is our like if I'm gonna go second kind of cards. And because I also play like a lot of hand traps in the main deck. So this is just to like complement. But if I'm gonna go first, I have just a bunch of traps. With the light, I think the light there is terrible, but yeah, okay. 3 copies of Torrential Tribute, triple copies of Summon Limit, 2 copies of Ferret Flames, and the 3rd copy of Judgment. So Summon Limit basically affects every single deck. And when we go like first, we can set Summon Limit and Frenzy, for example. And we can go Frenzy's effect, get Kentron Gina's effect, get to Renstern, and that's the 2 summons that we will need. Ferret Flames is also an amazing card in this deck, because if we're able to do like Frenzy into Kentron Gina into Renstern, we gotta pay half our life points every time we activate one of those effects. So for that, we activate Frenzy, we go to 4,000. We activate Kentron Gina, we go to 2,000. We get Rexstorm on the field, and if we activate Rexstorm effect, we go to 1,000. And this card makes our opponent shuffle back to, the cards to the deck until they have a combined attack equal or lower to our life points. So it could be as low as 1,000. If we use 1 judgment, it could be like 500. So basically they will have to shuffle everything back, and then we can go for the kill on the next turn. So really good card to have. I'm actually thinking maybe getting 1 torrential out to add the 3rd copy of Ferret Flames. I think that would work better. But that was it for the deck and the side deck. Now, as I said, I will show you a 2-card combo that you can make with this deck. Okay, now for the combo, we're gonna need Branded Fusion and Dinomorphia Frenzy. We can have other cards to get to these 2, but you know, just like the simplest route. And then we're gonna have 3 random cards in our hand, right? So we're gonna want to let me put them like this. So we're gonna want to activate Branded Fusion, right? We're gonna send Tragedy and Albus to the graveyard. Somewhere here so you can kind of see the graveyard. So we can get Lubellion on the field. We're gonna Lubellion, Chainlink 1, Tragedy, Chainlink 2. We're gonna discard. We have Mirror G on the field. We have Albert and we have Frenzy plus 2 other cards. We're gonna set Frenzy. Gonna leave it face up, but imagine that is set. We're gonna set Frenzy. We're gonna normal summon Oliver. We're gonna activate the effect, and we're gonna search for Branded in red. We're gonna set Branded in red, and we're gonna pass turn. So basically, this is how the setup looks in our opponent's turn. You know, they are gonna do something, play 1 card, special summon, whatever. We're gonna activate Frenzy, pay half our life points, and we're gonna use this card, the Stealth Bergia and Diplos, right? This is the graveyard. Okay, we're gonna use those 2 to get into Kentron Gina, right? This goes to the graveyard. Now, you know, we could use Kentron Gina's quick effect. We pay again half our life points. We're gonna go to 2,000. We're gonna banish the Frenzy on the graveyard. Kentron Gina is gonna copy the effect. So we're gonna be able to fusion summon once again. And this time we're gonna go into Rexstorm by sending another copy of Kentron Gina and a copy of Theresia, right? If we didn't have the main Frenzy and we had the main, we could still get to Rexstorm, but we will have to use the Kentron Gina on the field. That's why Frenzy is better, because we get to have Kentron Gina and Rexstorm. right now we're at 2000 life points, and we have, made the attack of the monsters our opponent control 1000. We could use Mirror J's effect to banish one card in our opponent's side of the field, right? We can send either Lenatus or we can send Albion, so we can have a follow-up with Branded Fusion for the next turn. Either card is fine. And the last thing I would do is use Branded in red. I would target Tragedy in the graveyard, add it to my hand, and then we can fusion summon, right? So I'll probably use this too, plus the Tragedy to go into Guardian Chimera. Since we use 2 materials from the field, we could destroy 2 cards and then draw 1. And technically that will be, like our final board, and that's not counting whatever we had in hand that were originally 2, plus the draw that we got from Chimera. So that would be 3 cards, which 2 could potentially be even hand traps, so we have even more interruptions. But to recap really quick, we have like the skill drain, we had the effect of the Chimera to destroy, we had the Mirror J to banish. So it's really hard for our opponent to get over this board. And then for next turn, they are probably not gonna have anything on the field, and we have, so that's 9300 attack, plus we can just summon something else because we're gonna have like Branded Fusion because of the effect of the either Lenatus or Albion that we send to the graveyard. So really powerful deck, really awesome combo. If you like the video, please feel free to subscribe, share, leave a like. Let me know anything if you have any questions or any suggestions down in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.